So, at the beginning of this film, we are introduced to two sisters who were working for a new church, Sister Baxton and Sister Bernice. They were supposed to bring new members to the church, people who had accepted their offer. These people, Sister Baxton is bullied and Sister Baxton becomes upset and starts crying, which shows us that she is very. Upon seeing this, Sister Bernice explains to her that she needs to strengthen herself, that crying won't help in life. While conversing like this, they had arrived at their destination. It had also cannot come inside. Our church has a rule that if there is no lady in the house, we do not enter. Then here, Mridani said, my wife is here and she is making blueberry pies in the kitchen. They could also smell the aroma of blueberries. So, following his words, both of them went inside the house. They parked their bicycles outside. Once inside, they took off their wet coats and gave them to Reed and sat down. Reitney told them that his wife would come to meet them and believe in God. Both answered yes. He now shows them the Book of Mormon, which Joseph Smith had shown according to their. They did not believe in any religion before, but then when they were in trouble, an angel came to help them, after which they developed faith in religion and God. Reed asks them a question, whether they think Joseph Smith's words seem true or not. Jasper, both say yes, these things are absolutely true. God is also a part of this world. He now asks a second question, do you believe in the life after death? That I am with them even after dying? Then he asks them if it is okay for a person to have multiple marriages. Paxton asks why your two churches follow this rule. Then Sister Bernice said, yes, that's right, but it's because our church wants to increase its members, and the more members in a family, the more members in the. No, it wasn't like that. I'll tell you, everyone got more marriages for their own indulgence, and following that, these people started marrying multiple times and gave it the name of religion. Upon hearing this, both sisters were very surprised. This man had more knowledge than them. Then he told both of them that I have studied many religions. This is that the more you read about a religion, the more it seems you know less about it. After this, he gets up and walks towards the room from the hall and says that if you want to meet my wife, then come inside. It was completely dark inside, and as soon as Paxton lit a candle, it was a blueberry fragrance candle, and this made them realize that the man was lying. He did not have a wife at home, nor was there any blueberry pie being made there. This guy wasn't an amateur. He tells them that the walls of his house are made of metal, which is why no signals come in and no sounds go out. When they realized they were trapped here, then following him, they went into a room. This room was set up just like a church. As soon as they arrived, they said to the man, we need to go to church. Please let us go. The lad replied, I did not imprison you here. The door to the corridor will only open in the morning because it has a timer. If you want, you can use the two back doors to exit from here. They were surprised about who opened door. It also went out through the basement, and now they definitely started feeling that this man deliberately trapped them here. The scene shifts to showing us father. The sisters were quite worried about not returning yet, and they set out to find them. They didn't ask for permission to leave because they knew that the entity wouldn't let them out. They see the entity normabu which he picked up and hid with him to use in difficult times. Now this man started speaking and said, look, all this, before he places them on the table in front of them and tells them that I have read these three, not the same things are written, which means that one religion is okay and the other religions have copied the previous one. Here, he also tells them that your church is fake. Ma, who knows who copied whom? Listening to these words, the sisters, and she realized by seeing this that this man had trapped them under a plan. He must have done something with their Mia understanding his trap and listening to his entire lecture. They say to him, whatever you say, after listening to your entire lecture, I still believe in God and my religion. Be in these I go shondi andi I high. Hearing this, Mr. Reed there believes in the two doors. Let's see if God shows you the right path or not. Dashan these people Sapashine believing in God under Sashide Kaikoshine entered through the believing door. It was very dark here. They turned on the flashlight of their mobile and saw a Tiaika Sister Bernice gives Paxton the letter that she had stolen from that man's room, and she tells Paxton that she will engage that man in conversation, and when she says certain special words, then messaging to Kahin, you attack that man at the right time, after which we both will escape from here. Now these people were discussing this when a woman wrapped in a sheet came and sat in front of them. Will go. After which this woman will tell you what she saw in the afterlife. This was hard to believe, but anyway, they stayed here. Sister Bernice went upstairs and saw that deed so they could get out from there. But she saw that both of them were going inside the basement. Coming back to the display door in the same basement, she saw that there was a matchstick lying there, which she picked up, and as soon as she dies, Gideon tells both of them to check the woman's pulse and breathing to see if she is dead. They quickly check and the woman really was dead. After that, Red said that now this woman will get up and tell you what she saw in the afterlife. As he was saying this, suddenly the doorbell of their house rang. They both knew that it must be Father coming to look for them, but Red... Here on the other hand, these people took the matchstick from Red's room, which they had, into the basement. They wanted to light the match to signal Father that they were trapped here. But before that, Father left from here. Now she was doing all this when that woman also became alive again, whom they were calling a prophet. As soon as the woman came to life, Reed came and took that woman. Bernice was not ready to believe it and asks Reed how he did all this. She said, I also traveled. Bernice was completely confused at this time, saying to herself, maybe this was her near-death experience because it happened, and when I was nearly dying, I collected similar things, but then God gave me a new life. Talking about all this, I was distracting Sister Bernice Reed while talking. She loudly says, magical underwear, Now this was the time when Paxton had to attack Reed. Before Paxton could kill her, Reed quickly had a knife with her. What have you done? To which Reed said that this girl is not real, she is a simulation. After killing her, he takes out a chip from the severed hand and says, look, this is her chip. To which Paxton says, this is not a chip, this is a birth key. But then both the first woman who was supposed to kill and the second woman were changed. I had noticed that even their sitting positions were different. And the change in these women happened when we went upstairs to get the matches. This was all. There is definitely some hidden pit where that woman would be lying dead now. Hearing his words, he starts laughing and says to her, how will you prove all this? To which Paxton says, I will find that secret passage. At this, he starts laughing and says, upon returning, she said to Led, I told you this is all your control. Hearing this, instead of getting worried, Led was actually happy. The truth is, Wade wanted Paxton to understand everything he did. Now all the row was disturbed after seeing them, and then Reed came and said, did you understand which is the real one? In response, she began to narrate a long story. There was sadness in her voice as she started speaking and said, Oi, kakto. She took our coats from our hands and took out the bicycle keys, placed the bicycle inside, and then you started doing everything that you wanted. Everything was under your control. Meaning you wanted to explain that the real control was... Hearing that we were being controlled by Reliant, Abdit was happy that Paxton understood everything. He said, yes, all Reliant. Paxton didn't know what was causing him sadness. He has now taken out the hidden letter that Sister Bernice gave him and suddenly turns around and stabs that man in the throat. After killing him, he... Seeking this she is Isake, so she starts looking for a way out. But as soon as she comes near the doors, she finds that all these doors are interlinked like a maze. This house, she in this whole house, many It seemed she was in tension when suddenly Sakmidid came to her and stabbed her in the body. Bexton was also close to dying now, and at this time, Deed said to her, do you believe in the... God was misleading everyone. Bexton also prays, and then we see Sister Bane coming here after playing fight. Bexton was very happy to see her. She picks up a piece of wood here and hits Deed in the neck. In just a short while, Sister's condition worsened, which made Baxton very sad. Now Exan went upstairs again and looked at the model of Reed's house again, and she figured out about a window through which she could escape quickly. A butterfly came and sat on her hand. She knew it was Sister Bahini's soul trying to tell her that she would always be with her. Seeing this, she was happy and also started to believe in an afterlife after death.
Lights dim down, we hit the screen. Plot twists making me wanna scream. Popcorn flying, it's